Um, and a lot of people who are not looking at tape will look at his sack total.
Good morning, good morning, everybody. And welcome back to the Miss Fish. I'm your host, Miss Phins. Welcome. Yes, I'm leaving the studio. How you guys doing today? Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get copywritten, but it's okay. It's nobody's fault. You know what I mean? How you guys doing? Thank you so much for coming through. Much appreciated, guys. Hit that like button on your way in. Hit the like button. I'm gonna get the cam up. I just need a minute. But welcome, guys. Welcome. I got my guest today. As you can obviously, if you were here 32 seconds ago, you can see it was who it was. Sorry. But yes, guys, welcome so much. Much appreciate you guys. Hit that like button. Oh my God, look at this draft. That was something else. That's all I can say. That's all I'm trying to say to be to be as polite as I can possibly be, because right now I'm feeling some type of way and I don't know if I can handle what we just saw yesterday. I almost feel like, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm gonna need a minute for this pick. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm gonna need a minute to digest this pick. But in the meantime, while I'm digesting, guys, let's go ahead and bring up my co-host for today, Miss Senator 5.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I am so enamored with the pick that I'm trying to learn and take in as much info about Chop because I like the pick. Absolutely like it. And what did I say yesterday, Miss Fins? Literally, like right after our draft, we were like, "How does Greer this thing?" And I said, "What's going to be on the board? We're all going to love." I said, "There's going to be players that we love there." And
Absolutely, yeah.
I said the only way that it's going to feel like a Greer move is if he takes someone who his eyes are wide open on and we just didn't see it coming.
Yep.
And it happened. But
Yep.
is it a bad pick?
No,
No,
no, no, no, not at all. Not at
no.
all. No.
It's an amazing pick for a team with the likes of a Josh Allen, and you're still trying to figure out how to beat that guy. You want to win the division. Well, you still got someone, up north who
Up
has been
north.
running the East. And not only does he do it with his arm, he primarily can do it with his legs. And we might be seeing a lot more of that because right now they're in an interesting wide receiver situation. So give me someone who can put hands, who can disrupt, who can throw off the timing of Josh Allen and other quarterbacks. And you now have a young guy. You have a
Mm-hmm.
potentially this, I mean, put together, puzzled
Hey,
up Jets offensive line. Go get people that can go disrupt these quarterbacks in our division so that the Dolphins can be the AFC East champions of 2024-2025 season. I'm excited.
yeah. That's awesome to hear, guys. As you can see, we're excited over here. We're just oozing excitement. It is just such a great pick. I have no words. That I'm so excited. Hit that like button, guys.
I am not feeling
No. Let me tell you the truth. It's just
okay.
funny. I don't know if you guys got to see me. Last night I was with Finstock Sports Network. Shout out to Bobby Finstock. And I don't know. It just felt like a lackluster kind of pick. That's all. Too many shiny positions. And it just kind of felt lackluster. Now it's funny enough. Like I've been saying this entire off season. If it's not a stud defensive tackle or offensive tackle, trade out of the 21st pick. After seeing six quarter, not one, not four, six quarterbacks go in the first round, literally the first, 8 picks, six of them were quarterbacks. I knew there was going to be a lot of really good players that we would be able to take Chubb's sanity, my lord. So I was excited. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, there's going to be so many players that we could address any position. Now, this is my only thing. I personally still wanted to trade out because, again, I wanted one of those stud positions. But I did say, which is funny, and then I had to defend myself and tell people, I'm like, people, I literally said this like not even 40 minutes ago. That it would be such a Greer move to go ahead and have not one of the players we're probably looking at all, not even a little bit. I mean, to be honest with you, not one person. I don't care who you are. I don't care whatever. They're going to try to say, oh my God, I totally... No, you didn't. I didn't hear not one person talk about it. But if you just coming in, welcome to What in the Chop? Miami Dolphins edition, draft day 2024. Miami Dolphins select Chop Robinson with the 21st pick. So I did say, come on, guys. I did say, I'm like, look, if we're going to go ahead and not take one of those other guys, the reason why you would want an edge is because and I broke it down like little by little so everybody can see what I was talking about. Phillips won't be available probably till the first quarter or the first half of the season. Chubb won't be available till the first half, maybe 3/4 of the season if he plays. So you need somebody that can come in, start day one, to kind of give you that opportunity to stay still competitive with that position. And then when Phillips comes back, that's your 1-2 punch, because realistically speaking, this individual is going to replace Chubb, not Phillips. Phillips got his 5th-year option. This is his quote-unquote red shirt year, and we're going to replace Chubb with this pick. And I literally said that I'm like, okay, so I'm okay with these picks. It's just not at all who I was expecting. That's all. That's the only thing. It just cut me up short. It cut me up short. I mean, I'm not mad at the position. I'm not mad at the player. I just know what I super wanted. Now, 2 things I wanted to go ahead and say before we continue. Number 1, shout out to the Florida Panthers. 5-3, baby. 5-3, 5-3. Oh my God, what a game yesterday, guys. I was like, I had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screens on yesterday, watching the Panthers game, watching the draft. I had like multiple content creators on, and then on top of that too, I was also live as well later on in the night. Man, oh man, the Panthers, yo, it's special. We're up 3-0 versus Tampa Bay. What was that? Anybody hear something?
I don't know.
About the iteration. I
didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. Congratulations to the Panthers. I was wrong. I took the Lightning. On camera, I said I thought the Lightning. I didn't bet on it. I want to say people saying, Phins out here betting NHL hockey. Not doing that. But I did.
What's wrong with that? NHL's awesome. What are you discriminating?
It's so unpredictable. Like, you got Dallas hockey down 2-0 right now, which is absolutely crazy. Dallas Stars, sorry. A lot of people call it Dallas hockey. And now you got the Lightning down 3-0. It's just so sporadic.
What do you mean? Dallas, although Dallas made it to,
they're not what? Be careful.
They're not as good as us, that's for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Don't tell me you're a Dallas Star fan. Get out of here.
No, I am a New Jersey Devils fan. How do you? I sent you the picture of T'Chuk when you guys.
I know you did.
I literally went to a Devils game on my birthday, which was absolutely amazing, and I sent you, the pictures of T'Chuk. I know it's your guy, and he scored yesterday. It was crazy.
What had happened, Lewis? You hate man, Lewis? What happened, sir?
First of all,
What happened?
shout out to Lewis and CB83 and everyone
Shout
else
out
in
to
the
the
chat.
Phins tailgate,
The
Mr.
Phins tell
Chris.
what?
Shout out to you guys. Love you guys. Man, oh man. But I told you, peeps. I'm like, it's all about the Panthers, baby.
Whatever.
Let me say hello to everybody real quick in the comment section. Guys, what's up, Ryan AP? Welcome. Good morning, buddy. Hooked Up Joe, one of our members. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Another one of our members, Dolphin State of Mind. Welcome. Did anybody get this pick correct? Not one soul on earth. I love the position. I will get to know the player because I'm gonna be honest. I don't. That's what next week is for. I'm gonna get in depth with him, but I'm not mad. It's just not lackluster. That's all it is. What up, Red, White, and Bills? Welcome, buddy. Welcome. Keaton Talk Sports. Welcome. Thought it would be a tackle to protect Tua. Exactly, Keaton Talk Sports. That's who I wanted. I wanted to protect Tua. I've been trying to protect Tua since the minute this man has gotten here. What's up, CB83? Welcome. Chop is explosive like Bosa. Let's see him make it in the next level. Hey, I'll take it. Adam S., another one of our members. Let's go. Josh T., welcome. Chop a beast. Hey, I'll take it. Oh, the O-line players were taken to the point where there was no value left. I get that. Chop Robinson already got an emoji. The axe emoji. That's funny. Chop. Let's see here. Okay, Jose, good morning. Another one of our members. At first sight, this pick was questionable, but after thinking about Greer, it's a legend. I don't know about a legend, but at first it's just lackluster for me. But I mean, again, I would have taken this over a wide receiver, me personally, you know. How about them Panthers? That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Mr. Paul, Crazy Dolphin, how you doing? Good morning, Miss Vincent Saturday. Welcome. Okay. Let me see. Hooked Up Joe. So if we picked Jordan Morgan, Graham Barton, or Tyler Guyton, would those players elicit excitement? Who from picks 22 to 32 would have you coming in today celebrating? Barton. Absolutely my number one player. Period. Barton. Number one. You know what I mean? So, but again, that's just me. You know, not a big deal. Red, White, and Bills, what's up? Oh, look at it. The gloves are coming off for me tonight. I'm going all in on this team in Greer. I'm loving it. You know what? I'm loving it, and I can't wait. To go ahead. How you doing, Mon Joe? Good morning, Fins Saturday, Miss Fins. How you feeling, ladies?
Good morning,
Queens. Yeah, we're feeling good. Again, I'm not upset with the position or the player. It's just, it was unexpected. That's all it was. That's all it was. What's up, Daddy? Welcome. Wait, we got Luther from the Bahamas. Hey, Island. No, I'm just kidding. How you doing, Luther? Welcome. I had to. Go ahead. What you saying?
But no, listen, and that's what makes me love it even more, that it came out of left field. Normally, someone somewhere has an inkling. There's a little whisper.
Yep.
What in the scouting department of a vault, ladies and gentlemen?
But didn't we say this?
Maybe
this is such a great thing to do, to just pick a random person that nobody's been talking about.
It's not random though.
Literally said that last week.
He's not. I don't think he's random though.
No. Random. I mean the vicinity. The majority of. I'm talking mainstream. I'm talking content creators. Name me somebody that called this pick. And
Peter Schrager in his final mock draft had the Dolphins selecting Chop Robinson.
Out of 300
yes.
other individuals? Well,
yes.
There you go. Peter Schrager, shout out to you, sir.
Peter Schrager has somehow always been that guy that quietly backs the Dolphins in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like, you watched NFL, Good Morning
Good morning,
Football,
football.
because
Yeah,
you knew Peter Schrager was going to say something positive about the Dolphins.
because
But
he's like us. We love our team, but sometimes it's frustrating that we can't get our team to do it. But go ahead.
no, sorry, I was just reading some of these comments. He said Peter Schrager also said there would be 10 trades. Hey, sometimes when things fall, they just fall. And who says that people weren't trying? Maybe like the whole QB rush made a lot of things a lot more simpler for teams. Like you think, oh, the Bills are supposed to trade up and go get, Neighbors or Brian Thomas Jr. or one of these stud wide receivers, one of the top ones, and they trade back twice. Because listen, I was literally tweeting, I won't jinx it as the board was falling. And literally, the exact moment, and I remember it from my soul, that El Cap correlated Bowers to the Dolphins and jinxed it. Doom doom. The Raiders select. At that, I was like, I was,
Livid.
I was literally on the edge. I'm like, okay, it's falling. It's falling. I will not jinx it. I will not say anything. And everyone's like, what are you not going to jinx? I said, I'm not going to jinx it. As very moment, the very moment, El Cap said, oh, yeah, Bowers could potentially go to the Dolphins. He could fall to the Dolphins. Excuse me? Excuse me. No, he can't. Not anymore. But I mean, it's not a jinx because if that was the guy that the Raiders wanted, that's the guy that the Raiders wanted. And they went out, they got him. He fell to him. And sometimes
But
these
was
are the
he really
spoils.
the guy, or was he just BPA? Because at that point, I'm like, there were way too many other
Definitely,
pieces.
definitely BPA up there.
Okay, yeah, because
Definitely.
if we're being honest,
Yeah.
there were other needs, like actual needs they needed. But I mean, when you got talent like that, I understand
Mhm.
that guy's gonna be day one starter who's gonna make an impact. So I understand the pick. You know what I mean? It's just there were some lingering, but you also have to think about it. Other quarterbacks that were available because they were inkling for a quarterback. They're
Yes.
one of the ones that were they were projected to pick a quarterback, but literally stunned. The one stunning move out of the entire NFL um Penix going a 10th. I was driving. I wasn't even live at that point. I was driving, trying to get to my destination and getting home. And I was like, oh, oh my God. When I heard Michael Penix Jr., I was like,
Yeah, a lot of the people that were projected to be round two guys going off early in the board, this round,
he went
mid
eighth,
round, crazy.
eighth to Atlanta, who just signed Kirko Chains. I was like, oh. I know that pick right there threw a wrench through the rest of the draft. To me, I'm not even surprised that the first 6 picks to me we kind of already knew were gonna happen. If we're gonna be honest, Latham, I'm like, he was predicted to go high anyway, so I'm not surprised about that one. But that 8th pick, that Falcons pick, that's the one in my opinion that threw off everything else in the draft. But maybe that might just be me. I don't know what do you think?
Listen. I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming. I,
Nobody
I,
did.
I. But you know what? With the possibility of losing picks, maybe losing the first rounder, you don't know what the penalty is going to be for the tampering of Kirk Cousins. I guess the GM felt like he needed to get ahead of it and get someone in here that can, sit and develop. And that's the thing, right? We think of early first round quarterbacks. We want to see them as soon as possible, right? Now,
Mm,
if Penix is great, they
that
have they have a trade S. They have a trade
Jordan
asset.
Love. Are we gonna Jordan Love? Are we gonna see a Jordan Love situation?
We could, and we could also see a situation where another look. Kirk. It's not as if Kirk's market was dry.
Not
He
at all.
chose Atlanta. So imagine if Penix can pick it up quick and they say, you know what? We can trade. Now, granted, the contract might not be what another team wants, but the asset maybe
It's
of
not that
having
long, so that's the good thing about it.
of having Kirk as a bridge, he might be entering that part of his, career. Hey, wow. I mean, I understand. I don't necessarily agree, but I get where there could have been potentially a game plan in the decision. Now, having to explain that to your owner when there was so much available, so many shiny diamonds
I
in the
mean,
rough
dude,
available. Did you
they
see the
could have.
video? Did you
Oh,
see?
I didn't. I didn't.
Oh my!
I
It
didn't.
was as if the man. You know how I don't know if you've ever had your boss come up to you and they're asking you about your performance, and you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to explain to them how you're an asset and how you're doing your job. This
Mm-hmm.
was the look of a man who's who was trying so hard to not sell the pick, but make his owner understand it. It was as if the
What do you
owner,
mean? What I miss?
oh man, listen, the Phins tailgate broke it. It looked like a very uncomfortable situation. It looked like
Where in
someone,
Atlanta?
yeah, in their war room. The owner, like it's like no one in there is celebrating. Everyone seems a little shocked and stunned. And my question is, when did you have that conversation that this would be picked? When did you let your owner know, or did you just decide to make a decision? Like in the
Last
movie,
minute,
the
yeah.
draft movie, it's like I send in the card. When you guys start winning, we'll send in the card together. I'm not saying he took a moment from the draft day,
Draft day. Shout out to
but
Kevin Costner, the best Robin Hood of all time.
oh my gosh, we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that.
Girl, I will die on
But
that mountain with him. Okay.
I promise you this. It looked like a situation of this better be right. It looked like
He looked
this
like
pick,
I just mortgaged my home, my second home, my future. That's what you think?
man. Listen,
That's
that
funny.
man, that man's seat is so hot. That
Steven!
man's seat
Ah!
is that man's seat is so smoking hot. I promise you. Penix better be on that. Listen, you want to say someone's going to get on that field as soon as possible? Like as soon as they see a spark of anything QBS NFL ready from Penix, that man will be on the field. That GM is going. You thought Greer forced two on the field? Oh my
It
gosh!
wasn't
I mean,
Greer. That
granted,
was what's his
but
name?
listen, we don't know what Atlanta plans to do or how they plan to bring this young man along. Obviously, it's going to be a very interesting situation. Kirk was blindsided. Now he has to
I
mentor.
did hear that though. I did hear that Kirk was blindsided. I just
Now he
didn't.
has to
I didn't
quote
dive
unquote
into it.
maybe mentor this guy. You got the GM whose career might be hedged to this. It might be a little bit uncomfortable in Atlanta, but hey, if it works out, it's going to look like a genius move. If it doesn't, well then hey, in the great words of
He shoot it. He
me,
shot his shot.
he shot a shot. He shot a shot. He's like, hey, I gotta do something. I gotta do something. So hey.
Yeah, I just don't know if that was something you wanted to do. But Dad Dean, I'm a member for 4 months, man. Dad Dean, thank you so much for supporting the channel, man. You and your family have been one of the best here, and I'm so blessed to have you guys. So thank you for supporting. Guys, do me a favor. We got over 50 people in here. If you guys can do me a favor, hit that like button, guys. We need the likes so everybody else know we are live. Hit that like button, as you can see. Homage to last year's draft because I just really love this hat. So why not? Dolphins needed edge. Latu versus Dallas was taken. Chop was the last option. No other starting edge at 55 would be worth it. I don't know. There were still some that were serviceable, but you know what? I understand what you mean by that. I totally get what you mean by that. Esther saying drop that link. No, sir. I gotta in and out. I gotta in and out this because Yeah, I didn't miss it, sir. I had it pinned up. Rolling. What's up, Shekel? Another one of our members. What's up, Miss Phins and Finsanity? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah,
Hey,
no.
Esteban. Just say
I,
hi to
no
my friend.
way. I walked out on that movie. It was terrible, Julie.
I haven't seen it.
Really?
I haven't seen it.
Wait, one more. Wait, I don't know. No, I think he means the draft. He walked out of the draft.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
What are you talking?
Okay, so
Oh, you mean Draft Day?
yeah,
No, no. It was a great movie. Watch it.
we'll see.
Watch the movie. I'm telling you.
Is
I'm
it like going
telling
to make or is it going to make or break me? Like, is it one of those movies that's like a must see?
you. It's good. It's entertaining.
Is it a must see movie? Like,
It's
is
good. It's entertaining.
is it Avengers Endgame?
Nothing is Avengers Endgame.
Okay, then I
Unless you talk
need to.
about Justice League Zack Snyder edition, then yeah,
Oh
that
Lord.
destroys Endgame. So.
Oh Lord. Oh, he said Robin
Oh,
Hood.
you meant Robin Hood. Listen, that was a great movie. And I mean Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, with Morgan Freeman, Alan Rickman, Kevin Costner. I always forget her name. Lady Marion. I forget her name, her real life name. But we all know who she is.
I saw that movie. I did see that. I'm a big Kevin Costner fan, so I
Me
saw
too.
that.
But that's because of my mother, so. But I love him, so.
So can I ask you a question, real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, so since we're doing a little bit of draft review, go back and see how we felt about Chop. If you are coming in late, we might circle back to it in a second. But the Bills traded out of the first round, so we now have Drake May and Fashanu in our division.
I saw that. I was like,
Hmm. Which pick did you like more, or which pick are you more worried about?
Well, Drake May, I feel like we all kind of knew that was it. So I was all like, of course, it makes sense that they picked Drake May. They needed a quarterback. When are they gonna pick this high again? Next year when they suck again. So it is what it is. I mean, it looks like the young man is gonna be pretty serviceable for them. They're trying to build through the draft, so good luck to the Patriots. I mean, I'm not worried about him. They still have to put that offense together, and that was one of the biggest weaknesses. I mean, but we understood that it was Bill Belichick who absolutely mishandled Mac Jones, and to me that's sad because Mac Jones is actually not a bad player, but he was 1,000% mishandled. So now with the new regime, we'll see how Drake May gets developed, and he is their starting quarterback, obviously being third overall pick. Now it will be interesting seeing the career of a third overall and a fifth overall, and who ends up being more successful. That I will be looking forward to.
You had to go there.
I did. Now, as far as the Jets, what the Jets? What pick did the Jets have? They're Fashanu. I know it. They absolutely needed a tackle. It was not even a question. They needed a tackle. They needed a tackle. Because if you take a look at it, and the minute I'm like, oh, they traded. Oh, okay. They moved one spot back. Okay, cool. Then that means Michigan's getting a QB, which I mean, not Michigan. Sorry, Vikings are getting a QB, which they needed. But then I'm like, you have to protect Aaron Rodgers. He is your immediate future. So I'm not surprised. I think Fashanu is going to be great for them. Definitely going to be an anchor piece in that O line. They've had some great picks in the draft for the last few years, especially when it comes to the O line. Unfortunately, they've been riddled by nothing but injuries. So this time, hopefully, Fashanu should be able to go ahead and help them out in that O line to keep their very expensive, extremely old QB, who is at best average. So there you go. I'm not worried about either one.
What? Wait. Oh,
I'm
hold
not worried
up.
about either one. And on top of that too, I mean, the move that the Bills made trading out of the first round was actually extremely smart. It makes sense that they would trade out. I mean, anybody that you wanted specifically, if you were looking for edges, if you were looking for tackle, if you were looking for any of those particular positions, they were gone. Like the best O lineman, pretty much gone. The so at this point, yeah, it makes sense that you would want to go ahead and trade back. Now, there were some really good wide receivers, and we all know that they could have probably picked one of them, but they fell in an extremely, which we've said this before, extremely wide receiver heavy draft. You can get value and really good players in that second, third, fourth round. So it makes sense. They picked up a couple of extra picks. So we just got to see what they end up picking over here as they will start in the 33rd pick. And to me, to be honest with you, I wouldn't even be surprised if they ended up moving back again to get even more assets. So there you go. Hello?
I know I'm here. I'm,
Oh,
I'm,
Red and
I'm,
Bill
I'm,
says, "Oh, Miss Phins, it wasn't smart at all." Okay, that was your opinion. Sure. Who would you have wanted at 28
or 32.
or 32 exactly? Yeah. And hey, good morning, Michael. Okay, he says I will disagree with you, Sean. So I don't know if you're disagreeing with his disagreeing or if you're disagreeing with me as well. But who would you guys have wanted to pick at 28 or 32? Hmm? That's fine. What's up, G man? How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Too much. But what do you think? Who are you actually more worried about as far as those players?
Well, the obvious answer, it should be, it should be Drake May, right? Like he has the ability to.
First of all, hold up. I need to address this. This is not the first time you and I agree, Michael K. Miss Fans, for once, I actually agree with you. It's not the first time we've agreed, but I guess in a while, sure, no problem. Michelle's in the building. Hey, what's up, Michelle? I didn't see you. How are we feeling about chop the axe emoji? I get it. I'm indifferent until the guy plays on the field. Then we will see. Okay, I feel that. What's up, Jeff? Welcome. Okay, go ahead.
Obviously, Drake May, right? Like if the Patriots get their franchise quarterback, you never want someone in the division to feel like they have their guy, their franchise guy. So what's his name? Now, this could be Mitchell Trubisky all over again. You got, Master at Work going on a campaign like he did once they got, Mac Jones. So for me personally, you always said you don't want someone to not be successful because this is their livelihood, this is their career, this is how they're going to provide for their family. But there are other professions available. Fashanu, I'm very interested in. One thing we did talk about was, we weren't too concerned about the Jets because of their offensive line, right? We saw what it was last year, uh, not only in the first game, but just consistently throughout the year. It was holes and injuries and injuries and holes. You got a guy like Mekhi Becton who looked like an absolute stud. So they were so happy, big, tough, strong, couldn't block nothing, couldn't stay healthy. Soon as someone touched him, and it was
Out for
bad.
the
Like you
year,
don't.
yeah.
I mean, granted, you don't wish that on the player, but you wish it on the team. Like forget the Jets. I don't like the Jets. Everyone knows that there will always be a
But they're your
special.
hometown team, the New Jersey Jets.
So what? So what you're not gonna do? That's why I dislike them the most. Like, that's why I dislike them the most. But no, they're not my hometown team. Bump out of here. They don't claim Jersey, and we don't claim them. So it is what it is. You'll never
But if
hear.
they did claim Jersey and they changed it to the New Jersey Jets, would you?
Heck no. I am a third generation Dolphin fan. What are you talking about? Absolutely not. I got stripes in this. Come on, let's do this. Heck no. But in all reality and all like due respect, I'm interested to see what the Jets offensive line will be this year. I understand that Drake might be a spark, just like Mac sparked one year and then fizzle out. But one of the things that is very dangerous is a team having trenches that can not only, run block, pass block. They got a guy in Brees Hall who showed, the ability to be amazing, be a top fantasy pick, his rookie year and up until the injury. Last year, he wasn't able to do too much because that offensive line was allowing everyone through there, like TSA in 1986. Let's just
You
go
don't
that
gotta
far
go that
back.
far. You can go literally
Let us go that
2000.
far back. Smoking
Yeah.
in the airport, all that. Like, I mean, I wasn't alive during that time, but hey, that's what I heard. It was.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, hey, right. Let's call it what it is. But if teams, we always talk about teams in their trenches. You don't want, especially with a team in your division, to have the trenches, especially when you are on the other side trying to negate that. So I would absolutely, if I had my pick, of course, you don't wish this. You don't. I'm more concerned about the franchise quarterback possibly being a thing than the O line. And I'm actually excited. I'm actually excited that the Jets did not get Brock Bowers. Listen, you want to talk about somebody who was nervous at that moment? I was like, don't do it. And when I saw when the Phins tailgate broke it that it was, for Shanu, I was like, oh, okay. We'll see. Great pick. Great pick, but you never know how it's going to work out. Yeah, it's a great pick, but you never know how it's going to work out, even with our pick, right? But I don't think Brock Bowers is going to be a miss. Fashanu, possibly. You never know. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Forget about it. We'll see what happens.
Forget about it. Well,
Forget about it.
It's interesting. I think we as a fan base, we're very nervous about what we're seeing here. If that's you, I need you to give me a little bit of cam because I need to know who it is, so that way I'm able to go ahead and bring you up here. But I got somebody in the back. Just want to make sure it's the right person. Is this you or not? What's up, Bones? What's up, Sal? Is this you? Red, White, and Bills. It ain't him. See, this is why I can't. You just can't let everybody come up here. You know what I mean? I know it.
Well, who was it?
No idea. They just left.
Oh, wow.
They just said beans. I'm like, okay, well, I know you're a Bills fan. I just don't know which one. But you know what? I'm not surprised. I am. Again, I'm not. This is what I don't want. Oh, God. No, you guys know. It's me. Hold on. Okay. You know my dad is a Patriots fan. But you guys also know that I passionately dislike the Patriots. The last thing we want is what we expect for the Patriots to be losers for the next 20 years, for them to turn it around and then this season be semi-competitive. That's what I'm saying. What's up, everybody in Bills? How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, ladies. How you doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm good. I'm alive. I'm breathing. About to put 2 feet on the ground when I get out of the vehicle over here and get out to a good day, make some money.
Make some money.
And then have to witness another draft debacle by our GM. But
so okay, you say real quick you wanted the floor.
Yeah, I'll be real quick.
Yourself, so go ahead.
Just because I know you try to wrap it up at 9. Almost hit the squirrel. It stopped in the middle of the road, so I got distracted. But so trading back, wasn't the bad part of it. I actually wanted to trade back because I thought it'd be better for the team. But here's my thought process on the 2 trades that we did. First of all, you traded with the team that smacks your booty in the playoffs every single year that keeps you from the Super Bowl. You let them get the pick that they wanted. They wanted Xavier Worthy, whether he's good or not. They wanted him, and we
That
allowed
was a
them.
hell move.
And we allowed them to get the guy that they wanted. And sure, we got better picks in the trade, but we also gave equal compensation as far as round goes to the Chiefs. Now, I may be wrong, but if I have the better pick, I'm not giving you a damn thing. I'm letting I have the leverage here.
Or I'm gonna milk you for some more because, bro, essentially you guys didn't get anything. You swapped 5th and 6th, and you swapped 28. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that was a very it was even.
Exactly.
And
yeah,
I'm like, you should have got more, but
yeah, it's marginally still higher in the rounds, but like I said, at the end of the day, if I got the better pick, I'm not giving you anything but that pick. You have to convince me to give you that pick. If you want it, I'm not giving you more to make it better for you. And then with the trading with the Panthers, and I get Michael K's point, like, oh, they might not have had a first round grade on whoever it is, but if you're going to pick him at 33 anyway, you could have got him at 32 and had the 5th year option. And the 5th year option is so important in today's NFL. I bet you guys wish Javon Holland was a first round pick, so you had a 5th year option with him. You know, like just situations like that. Or imagine if Jalen Phillips was a 2nd round pick. You'd have to pay him right now, or he's gone off of an injury. So it's extremely important to have the fifth year option. And then, you know, we have a lot of holes on our team. There was still good talent. There was JPJ was still there. Again, you could get him at 33. You know, there's still wide receivers that we're probably going to get, you know, at 33 as well. But just you lost that 5th year option. And even with the Panthers pick, you still gave them a pick as well to offset the trade. So it's just like, I don't understand why, you know, and Bills Mafia, you know, I love our fans, but at the end of the day, we never want to criticize or acknowledge wrongdoings, any facet of the team, whether it's players, coaching, or GM. And then everyone's going to forget about it today. Once we draft someone at 33, everyone's going to say, see, Brandon Beane had a plan. He knew that this was going to happen. He's such a great GM. He's well thought and everything. And it's just everyone's going to forget it. But I'm not going to forget it. And I hope, and I'm going to say it now, I hope everyone remembers, I hope Xavier Worthy catches a game-winning touchdown on us in the AFC Championship next year and knocks us out of the playoffs.
You expect to be in the AFC Championship? That's what you expect to be?
Fine. I hope they knock us out in the wild card.
Dude.
I hope they knock us out in the wild card round. So
Thank you. That sounds a little bit more reasonable. Thank you.
I want at least one playoff win, though, Finsanity. I got to have a little bit of
divisional. You can get the divisional.
Yeah, okay. Fine. Yeah, so we lose in the divisional round again with Xavier Worthy catching a touchdown pass from the quarterback that we gave them. So I hope that Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott get fired. But at the end of the day, there's still great talent out there. But my problem with the Bills are we always get good players. We need great players. And once you get into the second and third, oftentimes they teeter off of great to good and good to decent. So now we're picking from the litter of decent and good with the potential to be great, but we have a better chance of getting potentially great earlier. And like Lewis.
Well, you're getting pushback, bro. I guess finances absolutely means nothing when it comes to decision making.
What do you say, finances?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how that's relevant to the draft picks.
He means the what's that thing called? The cap that we all got to deal with. He means.
Oh yeah, cap. No, but we're getting $10 million in a second for Trey White to pay. You know, we're going to pay all these rookies. It's not a problem, and we're not negative in cap anymore. So the cap isn't an issue. And then next year we got $50 million. So we're not in a bad spot there. I saw somebody say, "Oh well, yesterday, well, not picking in the first round saves us $3 million." Okay. But then when you got to pay them a year earlier than you would have had anyway, you're going to end up spending more money. So at the end of the day, what does it really do for you? But you know, we had 11 draft picks, you know, before the night, or 10 before the night started.
Yeah, I think it's 10.
You're telling me that, you know, like I know Lewis, he likes Brian Thomas Jr. The Jaguars picked him at 23. You're telling me that we couldn't moved up from 28 to 22 and got a guy like him who definitely was a first round grade and made your team better that night. But now even even the Bears got a better roster than the Bills right now. That's what's crazy if you really think about it. DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, they got that running back from who was it? They got a new running back who's good. Like, man, they got a good offense. And then here we are sitting there like, yeah, we'll get one of these second round guys who has no wide receiver one potential, and we'll be good because we got Josh Allen. Well, that poor guy, that poor Josh Allen, he's gonna be frustrated.
What's up, Louis? I know you wanted to come up here. I just was trying to give my one of my other resident Bills fans, some love here. Red, White, and Bills. Michelle says this guy is the only Bills fan who is objected. This is why you want to go follow Red, White, and Bills, guys. Follow Red, White, and Bills. Go subscribe to him. He is an amazing content creator. If you want to see what the other side is doing, if you want to get into the enemy's psyche, go listen to Red, White, and Bills. You're going to get great info here. But what's up, Lou? Welcome.
Hey, Miss Phins, Finsanity, Sean, the homie. I met with Sean.
What's up, Lou?
I appreciate Sean being here. Listen, last night, for the people that maybe seen me on CB's show and a little bit on the Phins tailgate and on Twitter for that matter, I was a little upset last night, right? I had a bad day. I had to work a full day. I got home, excited to go to the Lightning game with my 9-year-old son, and we took a big fat L, Miss Phins. So I was already hot, right? And then we get Chop Robinson. And I like Chop, right? Like doing the evaluation, I like Chop. Now, do I think we could have probably moved back and got him a little bit later? I do think that would have been a possibility. But hey, you need two to tango, so I'm not going to blame Chris Greer on that. But I will stand on my stance, and Sean kind of just brought it up. Is Chop Robinson better value than a guy that, again, I was trying the other day, I was pleading with you, Miss Phins and Finsanity, to go get BTJ. And we all thought that we would have to trade up for him, maybe at 15, 16, 17. He's sitting right in front of you at 21. You didn't have to trade up. You didn't have to do anything. He could have been right there for the taking. And I get the pass rush standpoint, right? But I'll pose the question like this. If Jalen Phillips is healthy by week 1, he's your starting pass rusher. Opposite of him, I believe it's going to be Shaq Barrett, right? No matter what Chop Robinson does, I believe Shaq Barrett will be the starter, barring any injuries. So you mean to tell me that a team that hasn't had a first-round pick in the past 2 years, a coach that is an offensive-minded coach, I know there's, everybody's showing me the clips. Well, he says he would love to get pass rush, and I get it. I love pass rusher too. I'm not trying to talk about Chop Robinson, right? And this is not about Chop. This is not about Chris Greer being a bad pick or nothing like that. It's just a simple fact of, could you imagine week 1, Miss Phins, you're in the building, I'm in the building, Finsanity hopefully comes down, she's in the building. If it's the Bills, Sean is also in the building. And we're watching number 44 and he's on the sideline because he's not playing. Could you imagine your first overall pick? And again, I get the rotation, but at 21, I heard words like developmental, right? Like there's things he needs to work on. Like, what are we doing at 21 in the first round?
Thank you, Louis.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to kill Chop Robinson. I'm not trying to kill Chris Greer. I like Chop. But come on, bro. Like, really? That's what we did at 21?
Like, we couldn't have gotten an edge in the second round. That's the part that upsets me because if he better be. I'm telling you, I am going to be super hot. Because all I was told yesterday was that, he's going to be your day 1 starter. Watch, you needed the position. You needed to do this. He's gonna be your day one starter. You got a great value. This is a great guy. I'm like, you know what? I hope so. And it has nothing to do with Chop. I'm not mad. I literally advocated for that position. I gave you the reasons why if they ended up getting an edge and all that. My thing is there was too much value at the 21st pick where we could have had somebody that would have been a day one starter. Because don't let this man be a developmental player when you got your top two edge rushers out. Now you're telling me this man's going to be on the bench too? No.
Yeah.
For that, and I would have said a wide receiver would have pissed me off. But if he would have gotten Brian Thomas Jr., I wouldn't have been mad. I would have been probably a little bit mad for like a second, and then I'm like, but he's still look at what we're getting. We're getting a top 10 pick at 21. I'm cool with it. You see what I mean? That's where I'm at.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but when they were making the pick, Chris Greer was on the phone all smiling, and Mike McDaniel just had a face of disgust, like, man, a defensive guy with my first round pick, I don't get to pick offense, man. He didn't look happy, but I don't know.
It's just the arguments, right? Like when I sit and I listen to others, and they're like, well, Chop Robinson, you needed him because, we injured, and I get it, right? That was a position of need. Again, I'm not mad at the pick, right? But the narrative that goes around is, well, now you can move off of Bradley Chubb. Okay, cool, right? You can. I guarantee you, I can find an argument to pick a guy, and we can move off again. Brian Thomas Jr. Draft him. You can move off of Tyreek. You see how that works? Like, go grab a tackle. You can move off Terron Armstead. It's just an easy way to kind of justify the pick. Oh, well, now you can move off of Bradley Chubb. Stop. You're not moving off of Bradley Chubb this year. You're not doing it. You brought in Shaq Barrett, again, a veteran guy. Even if Bradley Chubb is or Jalen Phillips is available again week 1, those are your two starters. So now you're just sitting with a guy, and again, I'm not saying he won't play on week 1, but to get a developmental, rotational guy at 21, like, listen, I'm not even. I was kind of pushing back on the narrative, Miss Phins and Sean, Finsanity, about the offensive line. But hell, I watched Tampa Bay get Graham Barton. I would have took Graham Barton at 21 over Chop, to be honest with you.
Oh my God, Lewis. Graham Barton would have taken care of 3 positions in that O-line. He would have been a day one starter. The man would have solidified your O-line completely, allowing you to move the other players who are good at starting because you're stuck with having them to start. But you have a bona fide player that can play both guard positions and center. That will take care of your interior O-line situation, allowing other players to move and shift. And then on top of that, you give that kind of player to Butch Berry. Bro, Tua's going to have 17 years to throw that ball. It's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Again, I don't know. Again, I'm happy with Chop. I'm not, it's not about Chop. I think Chop is going to be a good player. I think the upside is there, right? And again, I had a great conversation with EM last night, with CB last night, some of the Fin Tailgate guys, some of the guys on Twitter that I mess with a lot. I had a lot of great conversation last night. I'm super tired working today because I was up late. The fact of the matter is, for me, though, right, at 21, and I'll end it with this, you don't draft in the first round for upside, in my opinion. you're looking for legitimate starters, contributors that are going to be, guys that you're building blocks, right? And I'm not saying that Chop's not, but after the pick, when you hear words like developmental, there's things he needs to work on. Chris Greer is in a press conference talking about there's some things he needs to work on. That doesn't sound like a first round 21 overall pick to me. It just don't. Like you're not at that point. You don't draft upside. I just again like Chop. Hopefully it works out. I'm not going to kill anybody about it, but could we maybe have done better? I would say yes.
I can't
Great
even
point.
be mad. I agree. What's up, Mr. Polk? Welcome, sir.
Good morning. Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Good
sir.
morning, Mr. Polk. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, Miss Phins, Finsanity,
How you doing,
Lewis?
sir?
It's Red, White, and Bills.
Mr. Park, what's good?
Who's the other? Who's
Red, White, and Bills. You gotta change your name,
Oh,
bro.
Red, White, and Bills. Okay.
I'm driving right now, so I'll change it later.
Okay. I got you. I can help you out with that.
Now,
Sure, go ahead.
with me, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was a little bit disappointed at 21 because when it came down to our our selection coming up, they were showing the available players that was still the best players that was still available, and I didn't see Chop on there. Also, I was hoping that we would get a center, because that's my main concern on the offensive line is the center, because I know we just picked up the free agent, but
Brewer.
I'm not putting him down. He's a small center, and what happened? I'm not putting him down, but we could have gotten the guy that Lewis mentioned, because he was there along with like I said, best players available. So at first, like I said, I was disappointed with the pick, and then this morning, I got, just before your show, I got up and looked at the highlights, and then I also went to Dudley Durong's take on Chop Robinson, and I said, okay, well, it is what it is. The thing is, he, like y'all said, he has a lot of upside, but he is a development player. But I'm still mixed up with that pick. But as long as he's winning the Miami Dolphins, he's a Miami Dolphins, have to support him. And that's how I feel. Like I say, I'm kind of mixed as far as the pick goes, but at least the guy has a lot of upside, and he's a development player. But just like I think Lewis pointed out, he's going to be behind Chubbs, Jaden Phillips, and the guy we just picked up from Tampa. So that's what makes me feel bad about the pick, is that he's going to be sitting on the sidelines unless something develops. So it is what it is. I just hope that with these other picks that we have, even going into the 6th and 7th round, make the best of these picks. I mean, do your scouting, do your best to make the best of these picks, because right now I'm sort of iffy about our season coming up.
I get it, Mr. Polk. Trust me, it's we gotta see exactly how this ends up. At the end of the day, he might surprise you. You know what I mean? He might end up being somebody that that we can be very happy about. It's just, it surprised me because, again, I feel like this is such a second round move. You know what I mean? I wasn't sure. This is it feels almost like, and don't be mad when I say this, when I know how we all felt when we moved up in the draft to go get Liam Eichenberg, and we're like, you moved up for this player?
Right.
So I know I'm not the only one feeling that way, but I think that's where it's coming from. You know what I mean? Like really?
Yeah, because like I said, with me, my first choice would have been the offensive lineman, whether it be a center or whatever. And then if not that, then drop down and pick up some extra picks and
Mm-hmm.
kind of go from there. So those were my first two choices. You know, I wasn't really considering a defensive player at that pick. That's why I'm a
Unless it
little
was a
bit
D
mixed.
tackle. A D tackle, I would have been
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, with the best one available. Not just, you know, because I think there was a defensive player available before ahead of Chop. Because Chop was when they showed the best players available when it was our pick. I did not see Chop on that list. I think I seen two wide receivers, I think offensive lineman, and maybe a couple of positions, but I did not see Chop on there. So that's why when we picked him, I'm saying, why didn't we get the best one of the best available players?
Well, I think Mr. Park. I listen to. Chris Greer values certain positions. We all know it, and I think when you look at the edge specifically in the league, right? It's a position of need. A lot of teams go after edges or value edge players because that's everybody says, right? To win in this league, you need a quarterback. Well, if that's the truth, if that's the case, then how do you counter that? You go get guys that go get the quarterback. So again, it's not that I'm mad with the pick of Chop Robinson. Again, he's a good player. There's things he needs to work on, but I think Ms. Phins hit it on the head. You probably could have got him. Now, you probably would have had to trade up in the second round, but you probably could have got him in the second round or tried everything in the world to maybe move back a couple slots and get him at 26, 27, 28 later in the first round to maybe get some more compensation. So again, I'm not mad because they went for an edge player. It's just where you got him and how the board shook out, right? Like to watch 6 quarterbacks go within the first 12 picks, to watch I think it was 14 picks in, you hadn't even seen a defensive player taken in the draft yet. We all knew watching the draft at 21, Miami was going to have the pick of their litter. You could have went O-line, you could have went D tackle, you could go edge, you could go receiver, hell, you could go safety if you wanted to. There was guys available, and it was just when I go and I look at what was available at that time, I get Chop Robinson, but don't sit here and try to sell to me that he was the best player available at that time, right?
No,
Like don't sit there and try to tell me that there wasn't other guys that would have gave you more value than a Chop Robinson,
right,
and that's
but
all I'm saying.
They went with need, but you guys, I heard Lewis say that you would have took Barton. I heard Jolie say that, this reminds me of Liam Eichenberg. No, Liam Eichenberg was way worse of a pick if you think this is a bad pick than what we did last night.
I don't think it was a bad pick. I was referencing the moving up for a player that you probably could have gotten at a later round.
I knew 1,000% that was a horrible pick. One, because we needed a right tackle to fill, and this guy was playing left tackle at Notre Dame, and then we moved up to get him. So we used draft capital to get him. That was a terrible pick, how they moved around to get him. So I remember looking at Eichenberg's tape, and I just cut it off because I was like, there's no way they're going to go get that guy. And that's exactly who they drafted. But anyways, the reason that I hopped up here is I really wasn't into the draft, I'll be honest, because I still got the hangover from last year. I felt that, I've said this multiple times, I felt like we had enough on our roster where we should have, at least sniffed the Super Bowl. So that's where I'm at. I feel like at this point, you're just refilling the roster again. But at the same point, there's a need on the team. And we don't know how Phillips and Chubb are going to come back or win. Nobody can actually pin that down. People are speculating, but nobody really knows. They took a knee, And usually you don't want to take a need when you already have an established roster. But when you look at this guy's measurables, he ran a 4.4 and his vertical was 30 some odd. It was ridiculous. This guy is majorly athletic. I mean, when I hear people talk about, oh, this guy's not gonna be on the bench. He's gonna Weaver's gonna put him in there. If he was in Baltimore and they drafted a guy like Owe wasn't even on the radar. It's just because he had a 4.3, I believe. He ran a 4.3 or better. That's why Baltimore took him. They took him as a first rounder. Nobody even had that guy that high. So what I'm saying is, it's not like it's his first time dealing with a prospect like this. Like, I feel like we could actually do something with this kid because, for one, I keep hearing people say that, you know, he's horrible against the run. I'll tell you what, Chase Young went in the top 5 in that draft when he was drafted, and he was terrible against the run. I remember me and Ian were like, I mean, people were all about Chase Young, and we brought that up. Like, we had debates with people because people weren't really watching the tape or watching his deficiencies. And Young went first round. I mean, top 5. I've seen this guy put on more tape against the run where he's actually getting off blocks and making tackles than Chase Young did. So, and this guy runs a 4.4. I mean, I feel like this guy has upside. He can drop back in coverage. You lost Van Geekel. So there's so much pluses that you can get out of this kid. I really don't think that it's as bad when you got a guy like Weaver that's gonna bring this guy in. So, I mean, I understand why a lot of people are upset, but I really don't feel I'm being objective about the pick. I'm not even that upset with it because I'm kind of like, it kind of raised an eyebrow because I love defense. And this guy everybody's talking about him like he's in. Nope. This guy has versatility. You can actually use this guy as a linebacker. So I think that's where the Dolphin fan base is uneducated, misunderstood, and doesn't know what they're talking about. Because I've even heard people on X talking about offensive linemen. You don't have to draft a guard. Barton was considered to be a guard in this draft. You don't have to draft a guard at 21, and that's actually kind of high. You still want a guard, you can get a guard the second round. You want to get the guy, if you're going to go with need, you want to go ahead and grab the guy already that's not going to be there in the second round because if you looked at the draft board, that was the best defensive end on the board. He's most likely, you're really gambling if you're going to say you're going to trade up or make a trade to land that guy. That is a big gamble. Like there was plenty. If you look at the draft board, there's more guys that you can get out of the position that you want to fill on the offensive line, and you have a better chance, your percentage of landing one of those guys in the second round if you want to go O-line. And then you have people talking about, oh, we should have went D tackle. Well, it's the same thing with D tackles. You can get them at the end of the second round, third round. You don't have to get a guy that you would consider to be a disruptor because we did that. What did we do with Christian Wilkins? We took him, in the top 15? And that's actually very high for a defensive tackle. What did Christian Wilkins give you? 3 years of a lot of bad tape. Christian Wilkins didn't come around till year 4 and 5. We waited a lot of time for that guy to develop, and he was terrible against the run. There's way more upside to this kid that I see and value that we picked at 21, and all these fans are shitting on this kid. I mean, I apologize. I know you don't cuss on your channel, but I feel like I haven't heard any objectivity and any any knowledge of football when they talk about this kid. All I'm saying is give it a chance.
Well,
I don't think it's that
what
bad.
did you hear? What did you hear everybody up here saying though? I'm just wondering.
I'm talking about in general. Like I've heard people talking about going D tackle at 21. You don't have to go. That's what I've been listening to and telling people. You know what I mean? Like this take that I just gave, man. We're talking about people want a guard. People want a D tackle at 21. Like I think the value. I understand that he wasn't the best player available. We took a need, but his measurables are ridiculous. And you're telling me when a team that's as competitive as the Baltimore Ravens, who fielded a awesome defense last year, took a guy like Oway just because of his measurables? I don't think it's that bad. The Dolphins don't normally do something like this. You know, this guy, it wasn't like he was a top 10 pick. He's 21, 20. We're talking about the 20s already. Like, everything's a crapshoot. Everything. So you just got to have the guys in house that are going to develop this guy and put him in the right position. Yeah, he's gonna take his lumps, but he's getting in there right away. He's going to get thrown into the line of fire right away because we need him right away. This guy's going to be a day one starter. I'm telling y'all.
Well, again, see, that's where you're wrong, because he's not going to be a day one starter. If Phillips is on the field week 1, they're not starting this kid over Shaq Barrett. See, that's where you're wrong. They will not. So again, you can get no one's talking bad about Chop Robinson, right? We all said I'm with you, Esther. I like the pick. I think he has tremendous upside. But there's one thing to choose upside, and there's another thing to kind of play the draft board. And when you look at the board, there's no way that you're telling me Chop Robinson, again, forget about best player available. There was other positions, because I heard you say the Dolphins took a position of need. Absolutely. There was other needs. There were players on the board that would probably, if we all went back and looked at it, would grade out higher than Chop Robinson. So let's not sit here and pretend.
Lewis, you wanted a wide receiver. You wanted a wide receiver.
Take the wide receiver out. Take the wide receiver out. Offensive linemen.
I'm just going on what you were saying. You wanted a wide receiver. There are 4 possible targets that you can target on game day, right? You only got 2 edge rushers that you're bringing on every down, right? You can bring more, but a majority of the time it's going to be 2. You have 2 of your starting edge rushers that are injured right now. Nobody's saying that Phillips is going to start week 1, and who knows, he might not even be 100%. Like, I understand. All I'm saying is I understand why they took this kid. I'm telling you, they're gonna speed things up with this kid. You know, there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot. All you gotta tell. This is the kid. This is what everybody's been wanting.
Esther, what you're doing though is getting all these people in the chat all hyped up. You see, you're gassing them up just because you're placating to tell them what they want to hear to make them feel better about themselves. I'm not here to do that. You already got people in the chat.
I don't even pay attention to the chat. I'm just speaking facts.
Well, you got people in the chat already taking what I'm saying out of context. Because you got people in the chat. Well, he's going to play. He's going to play week 1. I just said he's going to play week 1. What you don't want is a rotational guy in the first round. You're not looking for developmental players in the first round. You're not looking for upside in the first round. In the first round, you are looking for a legitimate starter. In the second round, you are looking for a starter contributor. Then the third round, hey, hopefully you get a contributor, but you can take some upside on the third round pick. 4th, 5th, and 6th, hey, luck of the draw. If you hit, you hit. If you don't, you don't. Don't sit here because of the pick now and try to sell people, well, Chop Robinson was a great upside. So 2 years down the line, look what he's doing. Because in 2 years, if Chop Robinson pans...
That's where you're wrong, Lewis.
Esther, hold on real quick. Esther, hold on real quick. Well, let me tell you where I'm right, Esther.
Let him finish, Esther.
Because in 2 years, Esther, when Chop Robinson is performing, guess who won't be here? Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel, Anthony Weaver. Those guys ain't going to be here. So don't sit here and try to sell people a narrative about Chop Robinson being good 2 years down the road. Because this regime is on the hot seat. You know that. I know that. Everybody knows we got to win, and we got to win starting yesterday.
That's why this ain't Fangio. This is Weaver. We're talking about just because of what you just said, hot seat, right? I'm not going to say that anybody's on the hot seat, right? I'm not going there. All I'm saying is his development and his minutes are going to get increased immediately. I'm telling you, Weaver's going to put him in there. This guy's going to be a starter this year. Mark my words. Just wait till the offseason and wait what this kid's going to do. That's where you're wrong, bro. He is not going to be a rotational piece, and he's not going to be waiting. If this guy can give us production on day one, he's going to be in the starting lineup. I guarantee you.
And one thing I want to say too is you got to realize that even if Phillips is ready for week 1, they're gonna slow roll him in there. They're not gonna put him. They're gonna he's not gonna be 100%, even though he's ready. They're gonna he could Phillips could take his time and actually come in and start maybe week 3 or whatever, go full force like week 3, week 4, whatever, because of this pick.
Absolutely.
But
what's up, Shake? Welcome. Sorry, I didn't get a chance, guys. Welcome, Shake, to the building. I appreciate you. Hey, man, you had an awesome show yesterday, by the way. Keep it up, man. It's always great shows.
Yes, sir. I'm with
That,
Lewis.
absolutely.
He will on this one.
He will play.
Let him finish, guys.
Number one, and with everybody saying that we should have traded back. Well, you needed a part. If you can't find a willing participant to trade back, then we're kind of stuck at where we're at. You know what I mean? It's easy to say we could have traded back, but again, you need a willing participant to make that compromise with you. So maybe they were trying to trade back, but they couldn't find anybody. You know what I mean? So
true. And I want to say one more thing I want to say real quick.
No, let me land my plane and I'll let you go. And then I agree with 100%, Lewis. I'm not. I like the pick, but I think there was more players. I wish we could have got Brandon Thomas, because at the end of the day, if Tyreek Hill or Waddle would have got hurt, we would have been just fine. You know what I mean? But they live and learn. But go ahead. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Esther.
No, I think that they are still going to go weapon in this second round. I'm telling you, I'm looking at the board. They're going on need right now, and they're looking at percentage chances of still being able to fill the team, right? Because we got big contracts. So I'm telling you, I believe in this next pick in the second round. I don't know if they're going to trade up and try to get 2 picks in the second round. Who knows? But I think that they're high on Sanders, the tight end. I know y'all want a big body, but I'm telling you, I think, and I know we got tight ends, but I think this next round we're going to go wide receiver. But I wanted to say one last thing on Chop. One of the good things and one of the things that I like about him is his versatility, because you can put him at linebacker. You're not going to give him a middle linebacker role. If you put him out on the edge as a strong side or weak side, well then you're not going to ask him too often to drop back into coverage. But what I like about it is how young he is, and he's going to be learning the playbook as he goes, and it's not as hard when you're out on the edge. This guy's job is going to be to just pin his ear back and go get the quarterback. That's all you want from him, and I think that's exciting to me. You know what I mean? I think, there's going to be a lot of people surprised whenever they see this guy's production. So that's all I'm saying. You're not going to ask him to. You're not going to get too cute with it. It's going to be simple. Get in there and go get him. That's it. That's all you want him to go do. And he's going to. I have faith that I think that this kid's going to be able to do it, man.
Yeah, and
I heard your take. Shake. No, man. I don't think he's a old dude from Missouri, bro. No, man. Because what defensive end ever came out of Missouri? I mean, you know what I mean. Look at the school he came out of. That's Penn State. I heard somebody. I looked at at the chat on one of the shows. I was paying attention to the Phins tailgate. Somebody mentioned something about whatever came out of the Big Ten. Well, let me tell you what comes out of the Big Ten. The best offensive linemen come out of the Big Ten. So if you get a defensive end that's giving you production collegiately, he's going against the best in college. And that guy was giving Penn State production against the best. So that the Big Ten produces the best offensive linemen. I don't care what nobody says. I think that I think people really need to look at or think before they say, man. I've heard nothing but slander on this kid, man, and I don't think people are giving him a chance, man. This kid coming out of the Big Ten, you know what I mean? The Big Ten, he went against the best. So that's all I got to say.
Well, the only thing I have against that argument is when you say about what defensive end came out of Ole Miss. What good quarterbacks came out of Purdue? What good quarterbacks came out of Tennessee besides Peyton Manning and Drew Brees? So at the end of the day, just because it doesn't have a history of coming out of a certain school, a good player will come out of there eventually.
Right. Absolutely. And to go off the top a little bit. Go ahead, Shake. Sorry.
No. Like I said, I was just being tongue in cheek at that moment. You know what I'm saying? But hey, listen. If it works out, more power. At the end of the day, look, how many times have we been excited about a player that we drafted and it didn't work out? There's been many times where I was disappointed in a player we drafted and it worked out. So we just got.
I'm just saying, Shake. I love defense and I love a lot of things. There's a lot to like about this kid, man. There's a lot more to like than most of the picks that the Dolphins have made in the past when they've gone defensive. I mean, his versatility, man. There's just so much to like about this kid. So I just think I don't think he's a one. I don't think you got to isolate this kid to one position. I'm telling you, man. This guy's gonna work out real nice with this roster.
Hey, listen. If the legendary EM likes him, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'll co-sign.
I haven't even talked to him, man, but I would love to hear his take.
And that's fine. I'll tell you what EM had told me. Chop Robinson was his guy a month ago, right? Like we've been talking about. Well, EM specifically has been talking about Chop Robinson for about a month. So I'll give him his credit, and he's high on Chop Robinson, and I'm high on Chop Robinson, and I think Miss Phins is high on Chop Robinson, and Shake. We're all high. Again, I don't know why is it so hard? No one's saying that Chop Robinson was a bad pick. We see the upside. We see all that stuff, Esther, that you're talking about. The fact of the matter is, at 21, he shouldn't have been the guy.
I don't think y'all do. I don't think y'all do.
I want to say something.
Well, again, Esther, you can have your opinion. You can say that we don't understand. I'm telling you, we understand. I said exactly what you said before you even were up on the panel. The simple fact is he was not the best player you could have got. And again, I'm going by what people are telling me. If people are telling me best player available, Chop Robinson was not at 21. If people were telling me he was a need, okay, cool, right? I can give you players that were on the board that were also a position of need that were better than him at that point. So I think two things can be true. He can have all the upside. He can be everything that you said he is, that I believe that you are correct on. The fact still remains, though, that at 21, he shouldn't have been the guy. That's it. Like, two things can be true. It's not that hard to understand that. And that's not crapping on Chop Robinson. That's not saying that we're not going to root for him on Sundays. That's not saying any of that. But don't sit here and try to convince me, not you, Esther, I'm just saying in general, though, for the people I've heard, don't sit here and try to convince me that he was the guy all along and we're so happy to have it. Stop.
Well, the thing I hate about it is, look, I like the pick, and I agree with you, Lewis. People are trying to make it seem like he is the next Lawrence Taylor. That's what everybody's saying. Oh, man, he's the next Lawrence Taylor.
I'm not saying I wouldn't say any of that, but I mean, look at all the guys that have come out of that school at that position, and Gross Matos. You got Parsons, Oweh, and now you got
Michael Parsons.
In fact, there's been comparisons to Michael Parsons.
I'm just saying that,
but
I don't feel too bad about the pick, though. I don't feel too bad about the pick, but I agree with everything that Lewis said. I'm not trying to sell that this was the guy the whole time. And I know that he was in BPA. I know they went on knee. I'll be objective about that. But man, people just trashing this guy, this pick. You know what I mean? I don't think it's that bad.
You
can I
know
say
what's funny
something?
though? Go ahead, Mr. Polk. Go ahead, Mr. Polk. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. When I came on here, the first thing I said that at first I wasn't too crazy about the pick. Then I got this morning and I looked at highlights, and then I also went to Dudley Durong take on Chop, and I never did put down Chop as not being a good player. But the thing that kind of concerned me is that you had the center that was available, and we passed up on him. And to me, that's still a need to me on our offensive line is center. Even though we got we picked up that free agent, we still should have, to me, we could have got that center. I'm not saying that it would have make a world of a difference, no, but still, I'm not putting down Chop because, like I said, I like I've seen with Chop, and I like what Dudley Durong said about Chop, because that's one person that I can really say that I'm straight with, because he was one of the first persons that I watched on YouTube, and he's pretty straight when it comes down to his knowledge of football. So I'm not down in Chop, and I'm glad that we have him.
Before you go, guys. Sorry, and I wanted to let you go, Mr. Polk, with your point, but I got to shout out Superfish. Thank you so much, Superfish, for your kind donation. Superfish said the Bills were hogging the first-round trade partners to buy time for their eventual wide receiver trade. Chop was a great pick at 21. You'll see. Listen. Again, I feel like people think that someone like Lewis or myself, who maybe are a little hesitant about the pick, think that we really don't like Chop or don't like the position we took. It has nothing to do with Chop himself or even the position. I would say at most, it's just, I feel like we obviously needed the position. We could have gotten it in the second round. And I feel like that's where maybe the misconception might be. At least, I don't know. I'm not trying to speak for you, Lewis, but I feel like you're gonna have been in lockstep with this one. Listen. I'm gonna love getting to know Chop. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna love getting to know him. I already told you, Fisanity and I are gonna do a full breakdown next week. And it's gonna be a great show, and we're gonna really enjoy having that conversation. But it's not him. It's the fact that there were other positions that, in my opinion, at least personally for me, could have made a bigger impact. Day one. Now, I'm a defensive girl. I can't wait to see, how it ends up being. But at least I wanted to put that out there. But I pray that Chop Robinson is the real deal. We can get rid of Chubb, move him along, and we're able to go ahead and maximize this young man, because that would just only solidify our future, and I'm happy with that. But again, thank you so much for that.
Let me ask you a question. Are you going to be feeling some type of way when you see, because I believe the Dolphins are going to be they're going to insert him immediately into this defense. Are you going to have a change of mind whenever you see this guy getting moved around like Mike Parsons, when he's coming through the middle, when he's coming off the edge? Because I believe that's exactly what the Dolphins are going to do with that guy. I'm telling you, they're not going to leave him.
Mad. Look, listen, again, I'm not mad at picking up the guy. I don't want you to think that I'm mad. I'm glad we got him. Good prospect here. And to be honest with you, not unless it was Peter Schrager, from what I was told this morning, he was the only one that really kind of called it last minute. But at the end of the day, I'm not mad at it. I love defense. So if this guy's gonna come up the middle, on the edge, whatever, I'll take it. That's not my point.
I don't think he wasn't projected to go in the second round, and I don't think he would have been there. So that's why I'm just looking at everything that goes into the draft, what you got to do. The guys were coming off the board. I'm telling you, I think it was a gamble. If you're going to sit there sit on your hands and wait to the second round if you wanted that guy.
Esther, what we got to stop doing though is comparing all these guys before they even touched a down yet on the NFL field, right? Because I'm gonna give you, because when I just heard you say to Miss Phins, right? What are you gonna say when they start moving them around with Michael Parsons? And I get the comparison, right? Similar kind of in size, skill set, right? They can do a lot of the same things. Chop is comparable to Michael Parsons, but you know, there's a guy still available, right? That they said was comparable to Aaron Donald. And that's I always forget his first name, Zadir Newton or whatever. The kid, the D tackle from Illinois, he's still on the board. So what I'm saying about comparisons, right? If you're comparing somebody to a future Hall of Famer in Aaron Donald, don't you think he would have already been picked? Sometimes we get enamored with these comparisons, and the comparisons never show up. Like Michael Parsons could just be a Michael Parsons. And again, I'm high on Chop, but let's stop saying, again, I think it's premature to come out here and tell the fan base, get their hopes up like, well, the Dolphins are going to use him like Michael Parsons. He's going to be all over the field. He's going to do the exact same things. Bro, we got to see. And again, we can say what we want. I get the rotation, but at 21, again, bro, for me, this is just the way I look at it. You don't draft a rotational guy, and we can get in our feelings if we want to. The fact is the matter. Before Bradley Chubb gets off of this team, so Chop Robinson can replace him, he has to come back to this team. And it's hard for me to believe that you are going to, which one is easier to put on the sideline? A $20 million player or a first-round rookie? I would imagine the first-round rookie, because I doubt that Stephen Ross, Chris Greer, Tom Garfinkel that sits in that good plushy suite on Sunday is going to be happy watching Chop Robinson on the field while their $20 million pass rusher, when he's ready to come back, he's on the bench. I'm just saying, bro, like at 21, again, in the first round, people have to understand, you got to go get legitimate starters. Guys that's going to be on the field. And again, he is going to get on the field as a rookie, but in a rotational role, right? There could be, just like everybody's saying about Michael Parsons, he's going to go everywhere. He can do all these things. What happens if the rumors and some of the question marks are true about Chop Robinson against the run? Now you just picked a first-round guy at 21 to basically be a specialist on third down in his rookie season. Just go get the quarterback, because I agree with you. They're going to basically
I'm
tell
going to
this
say
kid,
something, because you keep harping on this rotational thing like it's bad. But if you're
but it's not. No. It's only bad because of where you picked them.
If you go in the first group every Sunday, if you're in the first group of that rotation, what's the problem, Lewis? I'm telling you, you can't have enough speed on the field. This guy's going to be on the field with Chubb and Phillips. I'm telling you, that's what they're going to do.
Okay, all right.
There's enough.
What I'm telling you is when you get one of those guys, again, we can say what we want. When Jalen Phillips was healthy, he's not a rotational guy. He's on the field, right? When T.J. Watt is on the field and he's healthy, he's not a rotational guy, right? Those guys got drafted to be guys that were on the field. And if you're meaning to tell me that at 21, when the team has multiple needs, you're picking a guy to be a rotational guy, I'm sitting here telling you, in my opinion, and again, Esther, that's your opinion, I'm just telling you, in my opinion, that's a bad move.
All those guys, the T.J. Watts, the Michael Parsons, they're all rotational. At some point, you got to put in a backup every now and then to take a couple of snaps. Everybody's rotational. I mean, that's what a smart defensive coach would do, is rotate players. That's why we had injuries. Too many snaps. You got to have depth on the team. I don't have a problem with the pick at all. We're just going to have to agree to disagree. All I got to say is the guys on the roster, I'm happy with it. If that's who they want, if that's the guy that they wanted, then you know what I mean. Just get them on the roster, bro. You know what I mean. and then we'll see what happens. So I don't think it's a bad pick at all.
Well,
You
we
know,
got to
you
stop
can't.
right there. Right there, we got to stop with that narrative then, right? Because again, see, people got to understand that when they're dealing with, you got to understand who you're dealing with, right? And not to toot my own horn, but I will, God, and I won't cuss, but toot, toot, here it comes, right?
Thanks,
Chris Greer
Louis.
yesterday, out of his own mouth yesterday, right, said he tried not once, but multiple times to trade up in the draft. Now, if you want me to sit here and believe that he was trading up for Chop Robinson, then there is no argument. But I'm going to sit here and tell you that they were trying to trade up not for Chop Robinson. So don't sit here and tell me that they identified their guy in Chop Robinson. What they did was they settled for Chop Robinson. Not saying they didn't have him on high on their board, but I guarantee you there was other players that they had high. And the simple fact of Chris Greer trying to, and he told everybody, including you, Esther, yesterday, they tried to do trade up, right? Those are the guys that you are trading up for. Those non-rotational guys, because the pick right before ours in Fontenot, you think he was going to be a rotational guy if they traded up to get him? Do you think Brock Bowers was going to be a rotational guy if they traded up to go get him? No. The fact is, you reached at 21 for Chop Robinson, and I agree with Shake. You need two people to tango. So I'm not blaming Chris Greer that he wasn't able to trade up or trade back. What I'm saying is, the way the board played out, we all were sitting here witnessing it. Do not sit here and tell me that Chop Robinson, again, position of need, we can play the game however anybody wants to play it. There were better players at positions of need for Miami that were on the board when Chop Robinson was picked. Period. There's no, it's not, I'm not killing Chris Greer. Again, I'm not killing Chop Robinson. I'm not killing the Miami Dolphins. But let's call a spade, bro. Let's call a spade a spade.
Before you go, Esther, I want to say shout out to Glenn. Thank you so much, Glenn, for your $5 donation. Thank you, man. I appreciate the support. Glenn says, how do you know that Jalen and Chubb are going to play this year? Dolphins might know more than you. And you know what? I mean, Glenn might be onto something, because from what I heard yesterday in a couple of news outlets, it's that maybe Chubb, I don't know about Phins, but for sure Chubb looks like he might not even play at all this year, upcoming year, because remember, he got injured 2 weeks before the season ended. So you're looking at perhaps not even having Chubb here. So it could be them knowing that, his timeline, a reason why they're like, okay, we really need to get somebody in here that we can pair with Jalen when Jalen comes back mid-season, or whenever he does come back. So Glenn, I mean, I think you might be onto something when you say that, because at this point, I think more than Jalen, I think Chubb it probably looks like he's gonna not be here playing. So that's saying something. Again, thank you so much for that $5 donation.
Miss
And by
Spence,
the
can I
way,
say something real quick?
Miss Spence, before you do, Miss Spence, I just want to say, if the Dolphins don't know more than me, we have a bigger problem than just draft picks.
And we got another $5 donation for Superfish. What's up, Superfish? Greer was trying to trade back up, as in a second first-round pick. Really? I don't know about that, but I mean, I would say maybe Greer. I do know that Greer was trying to trade back, but if, again, to Shake's point, if nobody's willing to trade back, then you're not gonna be able to get anything. You know what I mean? But I don't know about him trying to get up in the first, like higher in the first round. That one would have been a little bit, interesting. But again, thank you, Superfish. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead. Shake Money. You were saying that was a good one, by the way. Shake.
Let me rebuttal Lewis. Yeah, I couldn't disagree more. I don't think you can pinpoint. A need is a need. you got needs at defensive end. You could say that you have a need at third wide receiver. I mean, when we do have guys at defensive end and third wide receiver, it's not like they're not on the roster. I think that they just value that guy more than your guy. And so I think you're upset because they didn't take your guy. So it's just that this guy's on the opposite side of the ball. So I don't believe that, that narrative that you're spinning, that there were more important positions of need.
We all know
whether it's offensive line, whether it's third wide receiver, defensive end. I think they're all they could all for me. It's all equal. It just depends on how they wanted to approach it. You're not going to wait.
Right.
You see how the board's falling. You're not going to wait. And that's another thing. A lot of people say that it was like a knee-jerk pick. Like nobody knows that nobody's in the war room with them. You know what I mean? You have a lot of time to plan for this. I'm pretty sure that they had maybe that was one of the guys too, and they looked at the pros and the cons and they said, well, and it's just like Glenn just said that donated. We don't know, and I feel like you got 2 injuries. And we don't know, how those guys are going to come back. Like, they could come back, but you might not get the production that you need from them right away. This guy has no injuries coming into the league. I see why they did it. I see why they did it. I think it makes sense.
Before you go,
absolutely.
Before you go, can I jump in real quick to say one thing or a couple things real quick?
And that might have been more of a
absolutely.
Just give me one time. I'm sorry, but to your point, Lewis, the first part of the thing I'm going to say is we did the same thing back in 2020 with Greg Rousseau. We picked him at 20. He was a extremely raw talent with massive upside, very low floor, very high upside, kind of like Chop Robinson. And it's year 5. I'm still waiting for this dude to show me that number 20 overall production. So I get your frustration in that point, and I think what you're trying to say is obviously you like Chop Robinson, but there was starting caliber day one. You're starting at left guard, you're starting at center, you're starting at D tackle, available at 21. And I get what you're saying about being a rotational guy. Everyone has rotational on defensive line, but he's not going to be that guy that's going to be that game changer day one on your defensive line. So I get why you're saying that, and I'm kind of the same way. Like when we picked Greg Rousseau, I'm like, yeah, he's great, but he's got the body. He's bigger, faster, stronger than a guy like Chop Robinson. But I'm still waiting for this guy to give me anything. He's not the best pass rusher. He's good in the run, but this guy's supposed to be a starter. He's supposed to be a savage. So I see your frustration with that. But obviously, Chop is a good prospect, like you said. But there's a lot of guys you could have picked that could start for your team.
Hey, Sean, that you're spot on, bro. And I'm glad you brought up the comparison with Greg Rousseau. But to answer Esther what he said about me being in my feelings or me being mad at that we didn't get the player I wanted. See, there's no truth to that whatsoever, right? And let me tell you why that is. Because I was up here 3 days ago before whenever it was, with Insanity and Miss Phins. I was preaching to the choir to both of these ladies that I wanted BTJ. Everybody knows that. I wanted Brian Thomas Jr., right? We didn't get him. He was on the board. Let me show you how I'm going to be objective here, Esther. I would have took, before I took Chop Robinson, right? I would have took Graham Barton. Because Graham Barton also is a need on this football team. And he would have been a day one starter at left guard. Because now, from what it looks like, you're going into the season. Now, there could be moves, right? We don't know what's going to happen. But as we talk right now, Esther, your starting left guard is Liam Eichenberg, or your right guard. That's who it is. And all I know is Graham Barton in college played all 5 positions on the offensive line. Not 1, not 2, all 5 positions. So in my opinion, Graham Barton at 21 feels a much bigger need on this football team than Chop Robinson does. A developmental player that's going to be a rotational guy for his first season. When you could have got a guy like Graham Barton that would have been a legitimate starter, at least at right guard. And then, again, in case of Brewer not working out at center, you can replace that. If another guard position, hell, center, tackles, anything. Graham Barton could have filled in any of one of those positions as well. The value in Graham Barton was much higher at that point of 21 than it is for Chop Robinson at 21. And Graham Barton, an offensive lineman, I didn't want. So don't sit here and say that I'm in my feelings because I didn't get the guy I wanted. No, I'm in my feelings because, again, no shade at Chop Robinson, but the value at 21, what you're looking for the position and what you're going to get for this season, right? With McDaniel on the hot seat, Chris Greer every day in Spaces and on YouTube, I hear people trying to run that man up out the building. Don't sell me Chop Robinson as the best player we could have got yesterday at 21.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I was looking at
I don't know about the Greg Russo comparison. I mean, I still look at what they did collegiately and I have confidence in that. They're picking up somebody like Russo. So just saying.
Greg Rousseau had 15 sacks in his last year in college.
Yeah, coming out of the ACC. This guy came out of a better conference. A better conference, more competition. The best offensive linemen come out of the Big Ten. Everybody knows that. I want to hear that.
Well, where do the best edge rushers come out of? Not the Big Ten.
Chase Young was a top 5 pick. He's still getting production in the NFL. I mean, I'm just saying.
You were just cooking Chase Young the other day. A little bit earlier. You were just saying he didn't deserve to be a top 5 pick because he didn't have good tape, and all of a sudden he's a good example.
I said he was a top 5 pick, but what I was saying is he was a pass rush specialist. What I was saying was, if you paid attention, there's people that have not chopped for his run defense. He's got more tape, a better run defense than Chase Young did, and we got him at 21. That's what I was saying. That's no shade at Chase Young. It's just he's more of a pass, pin your ears back and go get the quarterback. But Chase Young did get better against the run. But that's just stuff that you can't forecast. You can hope that they develop that and he gets coached up. But Chase Young was no run defense specialist. He got washed out in a lot of runs when he was at Ohio State. I like this pick. I don't think it's that bad. That's all I'm saying. I mean, could have went interior O-line. It's a coin flip for me. I'm not. If we would have went O-line, I still would have been mad. You know what I mean? I would have looked. All I'm saying is, I'm trying to look at the bright side of things because I'm more negative than positive about this team. I just don't see why. And I do like defenders. That's why I'm just like I like the defensive side of the ball. I just can't believe that this guy's getting so much, negative. There's just so much negativity coming off this pick in the fan base.
Yeah, but it's not coming from up here because, like I said, the guy has a lot of upside. But I was saying that my concern was at the center position, and there was a guy who offensive lineman, like Lewis said, that played center in other positions. He was available, and that's who I wanted to pick. But like I said, I'm not putting out Chop Robinson because he has a lot of upside. He's been compared to Parsons in many ways. So, and also, like I said, Dudley Do Wrong said that the guy is good. So I'm happy with him, but I just wish we could have been and got that guy that plays center in other offensive line positions. That's just it. It's nothing against him. It's nothing against Chop Robinson. Okay, we have him now. He's on our team now, and so I want to see him flourish. And from what I'm hearing, I think he will.
Well, it's going to be very interesting. I'll tell you that. Definitely very interesting as far as when it comes to seeing what this particular pick ends up being. At the end of the day, honestly, all we could do is hope that he does end up being the player we need overall, and that we can actually maximize him. It's gonna be tough though, because again, there's so many other positions, and I'm with Lewis. Not sure what happened. I just ran back to my desk, but yeah, man, there were just so many picks. So many positional picks that we needed. It's gonna hurt. And shout out to Glenn with another $5 donation. Thank you so much, Glenn. Glenn says Chubb can be a game changer. Seen him change game in college, Michigan game. There were teams that had his number one defensive end 20 to 25 is right for Chubb. Hey, listen, again, thank you so much for that $5 donation. Honestly, yeah, I could totally see why a lot of people are happy. Again, I'm not upset with the pick. I'm happy with the pick. I think this is a good pick for us. I just really want to make sure that we didn't leave somebody that was, I don't want to say generational, but that big of an impact. Like, how many times have we heard Jonathan Taylor was right there for us and we didn't even, you know what I mean? Like, how many more times are we going to keep hearing things like that? You know what I mean? Guys that were there they're making insane opportunities for their teams, and they were right there for us to pick on our pick. I think that's the frustrating part for people. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. What do you think? Church at 2-0. But man, that's mainly where I'm at right now. I don't know. At this point, hopefully, day 2 we see what we end up doing in rounds 2, 3. I think 2 and 3 is today, and then 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7 is day 7. So yeah, I get it. Hey, we got Doll in the building. What's up, Doll? How you doing? I don't hate the player in any way. I just felt there were bigger needs. Thank you. Second round will be O-line crazy. Girl, you are not lying. And that's the thing. It's not the position. It's because we all know we needed the position. It's not the player because we see that he's going to be, or at least he's projected to be a good player for us. That's not it. It's the fact that we could have probably gotten this position at a different time in the draft. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Hey, shout out to Joe with his 3 members chat. Thank you so much. I joined late. Have you discussed who we want round 2? No, we haven't. If you want to take a minute here real quick, guys, let's go around. Who are we thinking as far as round 2?
If that guy's still available, that played the different positions on all line, if he's still available, we need to try to get him, because I keep thinking that we're thin at center. Because who do we have at center right now besides the free agent we just picked up? Who do we have?
Brewer. We still got Eichenberg, who's a backup. So,
okay.
but that's not saying much.
When do you guys pick in the second? What's your pick number in the second round, Miss Phins?
55.
55. Yeah,
Yep.
It'll be tough because the best linemen left are JPJ, who plays center and guard, and then Cooper Beebe. And I think they both could be gone by 55. But maybe not. Maybe Beebe could be there at 55. You might, just like last year, we got lucky getting Torrance at 59. You might be able to slip and get Cooper Beebe, but you might have to trade up. And those are the top 2 guys left for interior. So it's going to be interesting how today goes.
Yeah. Oh, Miss Phins, thanks for having me on the show. I got to jump off. So thanks for having me up on the panel, and I enjoyed the show.
Good to see you, Mr. Pope.
Thank you for coming through.
Yeah. So panel and chat room, y'all have a great day.
I got to drop out too, Miss Phins. Thanks for having me on. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure murdering everybody up here that had a different take than mine. I'm joking. Salute to Insanity.
Hey,
Yeah,
Esteban.
I'm just gonna drop back and listen, y'all, and we'll see who we get.
Round 2. Who do you think we're getting? Round 2.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go with a homer pick. I would love for them to pick Jatavian Sanders, the tight end from Texas. That's a big body right there, and I would definitely move him around if I got him. Very
man,
athletic,
they were trying to end the show, Esther.
So
now you bring up
no, that's good. Hey, Pamela, listen, thank you so much. Good morning for coming through. Yeah, listen, you guys could always replay the replay for sure, definitely, because we're getting ready to wrap this puppy up. I'm sure other places are gonna pop up, but we got almost 100 people in here, guys. If you guys could do me a favor, hit that like button, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, Esther, for coming through. I appreciate you, buddy. What's up, Lance? Welcome. Today it's gonna be an insane day. That's all I know. Reverend Bills, what's your final take, sir?
Oh man, I'm just frustrated about last night, but
what about you guys? Round 2.
I don't know. It's really up in the air because we got glaring needs. Obviously, wide receiver, D tackle, edge, safety, center. So there's a lot of avenues we could go. I got a feeling we'll probably get wide receiver at 33, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get Johnny Newton, that D tackle that Lewis was talking about. That's a great pick, but I just feel like he had every opportunity to get a great player earlier than what he's trying to do. We had a lot of capital in the back end of the rounds we could have used to trade up even more, but everyone says trust the process. Bean's the best GM, and I'm just not. I don't subscribe to that anymore. I'm going to be proven why he's not the greatest GM every day until people actually understand. But I don't know. I think we'll go wide receiver and then maybe safety, maybe D tackle. But we got a lot of needs, so we'll see.
Well, listen, I think that you guys we gotta see, but obviously wide receiver is definitely one of your major needs, and also secondary too. So we'll see what you end up picking over here at 33, because you guys are first and you guys will be on the clock. But thank you again. I put red, white, and bean. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, no, I'm driving, so
yeah, I put your name as red, white, and bean. I just had to.
I don't even like being associated with that bum.
I know, that's why I did it. Anyways, buddy, I appreciate you coming on. I'll see you.
I love you. I'll see you later. Thank you.
Love you too. Bye. Oh, that was fun. Hey, Finsanity, here we are. Today is what makes your draft. I'm not worried about first round picks, or is the second or third round picks that make a difference. Yeah, that's where you really get your bang for your buck, for sure.
But Ms. Phins, let's be honest, right? The board still looks so attractive, right? There's still so much talent available, whether you want to go interior defensive line, whether you want to go old tackle. I know Kingley's is still out there. You have some interior offensive guys. Like, will the Dolphins move up? I think that's the hot topic right now on Dolphins Twitter and in the minds of a lot of Dolphin fans. Do we stay at 55 or do we move up? It's going to be very, very interesting to watch, and I'm excited. I'm excited for 7 p.m. I'm excited. I wasn't excited yesterday, but I'm more excited today than I was yesterday. Is that crazy? Because the way the board dropped, like the way the board fell, I'm excited because there's still a lot of players that we thought could be there in the second round and some that we didn't think would be there in the second round. So let's see how the board falls today. Yesterday was crazy. All the QBs going, then the run of offensive linemen. Then you had your wide receivers going. It took so long to get a defensive player off the board. Look at all the defensive guys that are still on the board. And me and you both love defense. It'll be very interesting. I'm not sure we go defense again. It'll be very interesting. The Church of Tuanon would like for the Dolphins to get a weapon or some type of protection for Tua. But there are going to be some interesting players, dropping. So I'm really excited.
It's gonna be insane at the end of the day. Whatever we do end up picking and not picking, all I know is I can't wait to see it because it's gonna be crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. What in the chop? Day one overview of round one in the draft. Sorry, NFL draft, guys. It was what a great show. Look at all those great people we had today. I mean, shout out to everybody that came through. Obviously, you guys helped out so much. Thank you guys for coming through. Shout out to everybody that donated. Superfish, Glenn, thank you so much. Shout out to Joe Rist and Dad Dean for using their membership comments. Thank you guys for coming through, man. What a show today was. I'm so happy that we got a chance to really get it off here. But I'm telling you this year, ooh. Today is going to be very interesting. So, guys, if you haven't done so already, please do me a favor. Hit that like button, guys. Hit the like button. Let everybody else know we are live. Yes, Miss Phins did a custom change. I know. Let everybody else know we are live. Do me a favor. And also, too, if you haven't done so already, everybody on Twitter and Twitch, come over here to YouTube. We need 5 more people to get to our next mini goal of 1,320 subs. Please help us out because we can't do it without you guys. So go ahead, get your friends, get your parents, and if you have elderly, like uncles or grandparents or whatever, take their phone, subscribe to Miss Phins, and then give them back their phone. You know what I mean? That's it. But anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for saying your final words, ma'am.
I guess now we get to see what happens. Shout out to everyone for watching. Really appreciate it. I'll probably be listening to some of these Twitter Spaces later. Can't wait to see the reactions in here. Huh?
The Tailgate's gonna be doing a show, soon or whatever. So.
Oh, I'll definitely be listening to them. Phins Tailgate, gotta listen to them. Let's go. But final thoughts, everyone. You can always bring your concerns to the Church of Tuanon because Tua will fix it. Never mind.
Oh, absolutely not. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, see, this is why you can't let people. You see what happens, Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming through. What an awesome show! Shout out to the Panthers again, getting that 5-3 win over the Lightning, going up 3-0 in the NHL playoffs. Good luck to the Heat. I believe they're playing tonight because I think that's going to be really good. Guys, again, this is Miss Phins and Miss Phins. Thank you so much for coming through. Hit that like button. Thank you so much for your support of the channel. And we're going to be doing this again and having more fun. Take care, guys. And as always, bye-bye.